Welcome to Catch Up with Chuck from the Rural Futures Institute at the University of Nebraska. I'm Chuck Schroeder. I'm Executive Director of the Rural Futures Institute. And today my guest is a genuine, courageous bridge builder. Gladys Godinez from rural Lexington, Nebraska, has become a friend of ours through one of our projects. And Gladys, we're just delighted to have you here.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
You have a great story, and we want to get into that today because it really is all about building community.
Right.
Well, listen, if you've watched these episodes for some time, you know that last November we had Dr. Kirk Dombrowski, who's the John Brune Professor of Sociology at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, talking about a very important project that Kirk led called Health Voice Vision. It is part of the Minority Health Disparities Initiative of the University of Nebraska. But it was a research project and a learning project that was conducted in Lexington, Nebraska, looking at the challenges that minority residents would have in accessing health care, crossing language barriers, cultural barriers, a lot of issues, and it ended up having really a wonderful impact. Well, here's Lexington, Nebraska, one of the most diverse ethnic populations in the state. Actually, their high school, I think, is the most diverse high school in Nebraska. And it is the home of today's guest.
Right.
Gladys, I'd like for you to tell us a bit of your remarkable story that brought you to Lexington and your life there.
Well, I was born in Guatemala City, Guatemala. My parents, my older siblings and my grandmother moved to Inglewood, California. And then after that, we moved to Lexington, Nebraska when I was about 10 years old due to the meatpacking plant called IBP. Currently, we have Tyson. After that, I graduated from the Lexington High School in 2000 and moved on to UNK with a political science degree in 2006. Moved and lived in Kearney for a little while and then moved out of state to Wisconsin. In 2016, we decided to move back due to us having kids and wanting to be close to our grandparents.
Sure.
In Lexington, it was interesting before when I was there because and I kept thinking about it. In elementary school, I saw a vision of my dad being a provider, and we went to the store and we were just doing a simple transaction, right? Cash transaction, and he got yelled at. And he continuously got yelled at because the cashier thought that it was due to the fact that he couldn't hear, that he wasn't able to communicate. So that was hard for me. In middle school, I was called the N-word. In high school, we had a town hall, and the leadership there told us that we were not welcomed. So through that process, we tried to see the light. We founded a leadership group within the high school. And then through college, I try to make sure to come back to our community and develop relationships with our high school students so then they can know that they do belong, they are part of our community, and they can also become leaders within our community.
Well, listen, I was in Lexington when we brought the Health Voice Vision project to its close, and we're celebrating that. One of the outcomes is a presentation called Looking Past Skin, Our Common Threads. And that exhibit previewed that night at the Dawson County Historical Museum.
Right.
You were one of the speakers from the community that night and told a very moving story about your decision to return to Lexington and to be a part of these changes that you saw occurring. Share some of your observations.
Sure. Well, we moved back to Lexington, and man, it's 65% Hispanic, 10% of African descent. We have a large, diverse community, and it has helped. The high school currently has flags in your entrance, all 40 or plus flags in the entrance, which means, hey, welcome. You're welcome here. You belong. The Chamber of Commerce has a logo embracing different flags from our community, and it's the logo itself. It says Embrace Lex. So what a 180, right, from the time that I left to the time that I came back. So now I see that our community is trying to bridge those gaps, and I saw the lack of the diverse community to have a leader and or have that communication with the rest of the community.
Sure.
So I found it my call to be able to go into Lexington and say, if this is my community, if this is where I'm going to raise my children, I want all voices to be heard.
Well, you have been very much a part of building that conversation. Well, listen, when I think about that project, the Health Voice Vision project that Kirk led, Kirk Dombrowski is one of the most sophisticated scholars in the country. He's a rock star in his field. We're very proud to have him at the University of Nebraska. But let's face it, here was this sophisticated research project dealing with some very complex problems. I think it was not unreasonable to think this may be an ivory tower project that will result in an article for a referee journal somewhere that will go on the shelf in the academy and perhaps never really have an impact on the community.
Right.
That's exactly what did not happen, because I saw real people from across the diversity spectrum in your community demonstrating really a profound sense of shared community. Talk a little bit about what happened. You were there.
Right. Well, we had a great setup. We had foods from different countries. We had individuals from different countries. We were able to then talk about the impact that Lexington has had on us and how we would like to see the future of Lexington being together and talking within cross cultures. So that was powerful. But you're right, academia can just stay in a book, right? We can just allow this research project to be part of Lexington and then just let it be. But we're choosing not to. We're choosing to say, give us the data, allow us to bring this data to different maybe foundations or whatever it may be, and then maybe potentially open a free clinic. That is our goal. We're looking at it 2 to 3 years from now. Our potential of opening a free clinic in Lexington, it would be our closest free clinic or low-income clinic is Kearney, but it does not allow individuals from Dawson County to be there unless they work in Buffalo County. And then we have Grand Island, but with limited income and limited capability, there's no way that individuals can travel an hour and a half just to be able to see a doctor.
Sure. Well, when I think about that project and the changes that are occurring in this, here is a rural community, quite honestly, that has this long history of success. It was one of the great agricultural centers in our state. They've had great leadership over time, went through this challenging period, and now a new generation of leaders are coming forward to make Lexington really the great community that we all remember and want to be proud of. So listen, I want you to give us a little more of your vision. You made a very courageous decision to come back and be a part of it. Tell me a little more of your vision for what the future of Lexington might be.
Well, I think we have so much to offer. I mean, we have a little world within Nebraska that we can offer tourism. We have the ability to have businesses downtown that we can develop, right? We have entrepreneurs that may not know how to increase and or have a window, successful window within the downtown area. So it would be great for economic development, Lexington Area Chamber of Commerce, to be part of building our downtown area. In addition, developing our youth. We're having a lot of return students coming back to Lexington. So I am asking our leadership to be part of the answer, meaning bringing in mentorship, being part of having them at the table, teaching them the ways of how to successfully run our community. I think that would be awesome. We currently don't have a daycare center, which limits our economic development as well. So it would be great to have a daycare center. And again, we're definitely in the conversations of having a healthcare clinic.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the whole healthcare deal, of course, was the focus of that project, but it has so many fingers across all elements of the community, and that part's been fun. And we hope that is fulfilling part of our mission with the Rural Futures Institute to really help real people in a community create the kind of thriving environment that draws young people back and creates that support for entrepreneurs and change agents, if you will, that really are leading into a brighter future. Well, listen, Gladys, one of our core beliefs at the Rural Futures Institute is that people have the capacity to determine their own future. They can make choices that will change the course of their community and eventually change the course of the world. You are a living example of that. I was so intrigued when I heard your story last fall, and it's been so much fun to revisit it and think about where you're going with this remarkable life that you've lived. So anyway, we're delighted and honored to be associated with you. Anything else you'd like to add today?
Well, honestly, I would like to thank you for not only investing time, but money into our community and developing this conversation to be able to find solutions together within our community. So I appreciate not only the platform, but the time and the money that you have invested in our community.
It's been rewarding to us.
Thank
So thank you. Well, listen, we appreciate Gladys coming and sharing this great story with us. And I want to encourage you to stay in touch with the Rural Futures Institute through our website, through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, all of those tools, because we're going to be back in another week talking to real people about real places who demonstrate that thriving rural communities are a legitimate best choice for worthwhile living. Thanks for joining us.